By now, I'm sure most of us know that on Wednesday in a White House press briefing, Sarah Huckabee Sanders opened by reading a letter from a 9-year-old child named Dylan who goes by the name Pickle. Pickle, in the letter, talks about the fact that he loves Donald Trump. He had a birthday cake shaped like his hat. I'm assuming hat means that bad hairpiece that Donald Trump wears. And he went on to say, I don't know why people don't like you. How much money do you have? How big is the White House? You know, typical questions that a child who is under the age of 9 would ask a person. Here's the thing about the letter. I don't necessarily want to debate the authenticity of it, but when they shared the picture of it, if it was indeed mailed to the president, wouldn't there be creases in the letter? Wouldn't the little notches out of the side of the paper on that left-hand side not be digital? I mean, I don't want to come across as like a pickle truther, but that document that they shared was clearly created on a computer. Now, having said that, it is entirely possible that this child did it, even though the spelling and grammatical errors are well below what a 9-year-old in this country could do. However, that could just be a result of shoddy Republican funding of our public education system. Who knows? But it does seem a little bit like a caricature how somebody who's older would portray a 9-year-old as writing. Nonetheless, all of that aside, the fact that, let's assume for a second this is authentic, the fact that Sarah Huckabee Sanders opens a press conference with a letter from a 9-year-old boy fawning over Donald Trump on the same day that the administration decides to ban transgendered people from the United States military is a clear distraction method. Donald Trump got a lot of hate yesterday because he spread a lot of hate. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I'm assuming Anthony Scaramucci was behind the scenes pulling the strings, decide to open up with a letter showing just how great Donald Trump is, and he's reaching out to children, and the children love him, and let's just be nice to him because that's what the children want. No, this is pure propaganda. They're using this child, if he exists, as a tool, as something to show the public to distract them from the very real damage that Donald Trump is causing to this country. In fact, Huckabee Sanders even threatened to walk out of the press conference when reporters began asking about the transgender military ban. All she wanted to do was talk about how much children love Donald Trump. They don't want to talk about the investigations. They don't want to talk about the health care bill failure and what it would actually do to the public if it were to pass. They don't want to talk about their tax plan that's only going to benefit the top 1%. They don't want to talk about the fact that Donald Trump is passing legislation or attempting to, or executive orders or whatever, to ban transgendered people and take away their rights from serving in the military. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about the non-issues. They want to talk about how much everybody in this country absolutely just loves the president. And that love is coming from the children, the future. We should all be more like Dylan Pickle. No, that's not how this works. You don't get to go out there and misdirect the public with a cute little misspelled letter from a 9-year-old boy who may or may not even be real. You need to start addressing the issues. And if you're not even going to bother doing that, then the press needs to wise up and stop attending these disgusting charades that you're calling White House press briefings. If you like this video, make sure that you like, comment, and share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to help support Ring of Fire, go to patreon.com/TheRingOfFire, become a monthly patron to help support independent progressive media.